welcome to tonight's debate on Dino Network, the Big D. I'm Fair Enough, and I will be moderating tonight's debate. The topic of the debate is cloning of extinct and endangered species. Cloning enthusiast Paul Emerace will go head-to-head with conservation biologist Ida Savior as they discuss and argue over the controversial issues. Welcome, Mr. Emerace.
Thank you, Farah. Can I call you Farah?
No. Welcome, Mrs. Savior. That's Miss Savior, actually. Of course it is. The first question is for you, Mr. Emerace. Why do you feel conservation biology has been failing to save certain species?
Well, Mrs. Nuff. That's a fairly simple question to answer. Over the past million years, extinction rates have continued to rise. Where have the conservation biologists been on that one? And let's face it, with this growing technology and economy, habitats are going to continue to be destroyed. For example, if a two-footed, orange-headed, silver-skinned python is living in a forest with a perfect area for a mini-mall, man won't hesitate to destroy it. So Ida, you just have to face the facts here on this one. That habitats are going to continue to be destroyed. And the only way to counter this is with artificial beings in an artificial environment. It's cool! It's science! Lastly, reintroduction is an extremely complicated procedure if you do it naturally. Do you realize how much easier it would be to reintroduce the two-footed, orange-headed, silver-skinned python if we could just copy and paste? Like a billion times easier.
Miss Savior, your rebuttal? Whoa. Don't you realize that nature is the greatest thing ever? How could you just possibly be talking about its destruction or making it artificial, like robot nature? That's just sick. The problem is people like you, Mr. Emerace, who just insist on ignoring natural preservation of habitats. And if extinction rates are rising, it's obviously for a reason. Nature wants them dead. You know, you snooze, you lose. Survival of the fittest. That's nature, Mr. Emerace, and you just can't handle it. Everybody should just leave nature alone, because us conservation biologists are trying their hardest to interfere and save it. So just give us like 10 years on that python, and I'm sure there will be a 0.4% more of that kind. Well, alright then. The next question is for you, Miss Savior. What would be the consequences of cloned, extinct, or endangered species fully back in the wild? Everything is a consequence. That new organism will definitely mess up diversity, people, and before you know it, the balance of nature as we know it will be slightly off. Can you imagine such a world? I can't. Oh, and by the way, cloning dinosaurs is absolutely ridiculous. Nobody wants a brontosaurus walking down the street. What if it eats my beautiful hemp garden? That'd be terrible. Have you guys ever seen Cloverfield? Yeah, that's right, my friends. That's what Mr. Emerace wants. A dinosaur to destroy an entire city while we waste our military resources. It's pretty obvious that conservation biologists is the safest way to do this. Do you agree, Farah? I'm not allowed to answer that, but Mr. Emerace can.
Well, I can assure you that there won't be a dinosaur running around New York City. I mean, woolly mammoths aren't even dinosaurs, I don't think. Have you ever heard of counter-extinction? Just imagine us freezing the tissues of endangered species, and once they go completely extinct, we could resurrect them. Or before they go extinct, potentially. And let's face it, Ida, endangered species will always be a problem. If we get the small millions we are asking for, we can perfect cloning so that we can permanently solve this problem. So in the end, we don't keep using our resources for protection and the money can be focused on other areas.
Mr. Emerace, a lot of that had nothing to do with Miss Savior's answer to my question.
What's your point?
Never mind. This question is for you, Paul. Why do you think cloning is the only option for saving species?
Ooh, I know this one. Have you guys ever heard of counter-extinction? Well, basically...
Yes, we have. Next question. Miss Xavier, what are the concerns about cloning and the use of funds to research it? The bottom line is if you focus all your attention on cloning endangered species, you'll reduce concerns of saving them. Have Mr. Emirace tell you about the first species to become unextinct.
It may have died within 7 minutes.
You bet it did, because it was an ungodly animal right from the scientific spawns of Satan. Let's use our money for other things like hemp, naturally saving species, hemp, raising awareness, hemp, and save our mother t-shirt. I'd rather not. The final question is for you, Mr. Emirace. Where do you think the research of cloning can lead?
Quite simply, Farah, cloning research is a door to knowledge. It could warn us of the dangers of human cloning, perhaps. Animals are good subjects. It could also help us in several scientific areas of study, such as genetics, biology, paleontology, geology, and anatomy.
You still have some time left to answer your question. Would you like to expand on that?
No, I would not.
Well, let's just go to the closing statements. Yours, Miss Xavier. Just remember, nature good, dinosaurs bad. That sums up everything I ever wanted to say. Okay, yours, Mr. Emirace.
I think I did really well tonight. I have nothing more to say.
Alright, well there you have it. Thanks for tuning in on the debate here tonight on Dino News Network. I'm Fair Enough. Good night.